Thank God it's Friday. It's a beautiful day, a beautiful morning. The last installment of this program for this week. Morning Spring. It's been a... All right. As I was saying, it's been an exciting week. Actually, quite eventful.
Yeah.
Very eventful. You know, on the Y side, on the side, on the yeah side. It's been a quite eventful one on different fronts, actually. And because when I say yeah side, I know what I'm saying. But then, Femi Ojo is my name. And we are back here to round it off on a high. And by the way, there is palpable joy in the atmosphere. The Super Eagles of Nigeria. They did well yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, around there they will say your mother's head help you. Only because that's the best they could do at that time. There are no margin for error. But then they soared, the eagle soared. And so it's we're going to talk about that in the course of the program today. But then the happy woman is here.
Yes, stand up for the champion. Make way. Good morning, Femi.
Good morning.
Good morning, Nigerians. A big congratulations to us. It's not full congratulations yet.
Yeah,
yes, it's coming.
But then,
trust my people.
Step by step.
We always deliver. I mean, Femi was agitated. He was busy saying, they had better do well.
I was.
Oh, my guys, you're always ready.
Turning up.
Imagine. Oh, I'm super glad. Yes, it's happiness is in the air, joy is in the air, even though there are other crinklums, somewhere. But we are happy. The Eagles, the salt, and the made us really proud yesterday. Big congratulations to Nigeria.
Right.
Good morning to you, dear viewer. Thank you for always keeping faith with us and for being here again today. It's the ultimate installment of Morning Spring right here, and it is, yes, that's for the week. It is the TGIF edition. And yes, we are, we're happy.
Yes,
glad.
we are.
A beautiful morning to you. Thanks for joining us. My name is Timitope Ajijola Oduwaola, and we're supercharged to serve you the headlines, making the rounds on the faces of the dailies, and then bringing you quality analysis, from the mouths of our analysts this morning. It promises to be a good conversation.
Yeah, and apart from the Eagles that, they soared yesterday very high.
Yeah.
If you watch the game, quite a very nail-biting kind of game, because first half was 0-0. Towards the middle of the second half. In fact, towards the around 75 minutes or so, the Eagles scored, and all you needed was a win. And just like 5-6 minutes later, the Gabonese equalized.
Okay.
I was somewhere. Let me just say it. I was watching at the lounge. Actually, I went for a meeting. So the second half, I went to a lounge and was watching. And when the Nigerians scored, the Eagles, the DJ upstairs at that lounge was playing very heavy Nigerian. Nigerians are winning today. All those kind of songs. When we scored, everywhere the energy was bumping high. And, just immediately the Gabonese equalized. The DJ changed the song. And he changed it to... for the, let me say it in Yoruba, the way Oti Diwamo, Oti Mowalara, Emma Shegbara Lewo Odale. In English, it means that's how they do.
Yeah.
They are not dependable. They will always fail you. Just within. And immediately Nigeria, and then it was time for extra time, 30 minutes. By the time we took the lead again, the chant sang. I mean, the song changed to that song, praise song. In this life,
how
just win.
Sides turn. Yeah.
Just be successful. That's just the thing. The effort sometimes on the large scale doesn't matter to the people watching, to outsiders, and it's a lesson of life. Nobody celebrates the injuries or the dribblings, whatever. What we need is that final result. And so when it was 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, the DJ was blasting. Just like 30 minutes ago, you are playing, they are in the... All right, and so much to talk about. Talking about the issue of the fracas that happened, Minister Wike and the Officer Yerima,
right.
The seasonal film that started with the episode 1 and 2, earlier in the week, many persons are intervened on the matter. Of course, for, against, we'll be looking into, because there are other developments, and people are talking about military-civil relations these days, you know, and while both parties, right, irrespective of the people that are directly involved, Minister Wike, his guys, Officer Yerima and his guys now, there is a need to cement and have a robust, you know, military-civil engagement, especially if we are going to make a headway with these banditry insurgency thing, because the scope of the conversation must be widened beyond that particular incident that happened that day, which many people are saying, yeah, that's good. The other ones were saying, oh, you dropped the ball and all of those things. We can't do without each other, actually, one another, if actually we are to make progress. Because it means if there is palpable fear or anger or this resentment of the people in uniform, that means if there are information, nobody will go to them to give the information. And because they will see them as high-handed people who usually think they are above every other person. You know, there's a way you feel, this guy in pages, they will say, you too, they feel yourself. So, you know, and when you have that kind of mindset against somebody, there's no way you are going to work with them, actually. And when the other people too, people in uniform sees you as, you are one of those persons, they see you as, you know, lesser. Yeah, like you know, bloody civilian, the way they say to some of us who are civilians, there is no way it's going to work in that kind of a country. The best is to see the people in uniform. And the moment you see them, you have confidence that you are covered, that everywhere, as they say, everywhere is still, you know. And when they see you as well, they see people that want to give them information, people that want to support them. And I think that's the best way we could work. But I think there is that gully that is being widened, especially with that incident that happened that day. Because it doesn't have to be Wike. Wike represents another Nigerian politician that many persons dislike. It's just a representation of, you know, and I think the political class should take a lesson from that. The way you do, the way you carry yourself, make people to resent you. And you better don't suffer any ill-luck, any terrible things. Nobody will even do anything for you, except those eating directly from you. And that is the guys. And I think we should really widen the scope
you
of
said something about those eating directly. I don't even think at that point, those eating directly from Wike, I don't think they would rally around him. Because right there and then, you said there was one person in heat. Apart from that,
one DSS officer.
A day or two after, he banned phone use, you know, in the Aegis, you know, there. But the point, one takeaway that I really want to, you know, that I took from all of this incident and from what people had been saying is that people have the responsibility to isolate incidents. One thing that I've seen is there is a carpeting, you know, of incidents that people are doing. Now, I'll give this illustration. I saw somewhere where people were talking about the fact that those who are supporting Officer Yerima, do they not remember the Lekki Toll incident, the 2020 incident? And the fact is, as much as Nigerians, well-meaning and right-thinking Nigerians are against police brutality, military brutality, all of these, you know, officers in uniform and all of the brutality that comes, you know, with that and the high-handedness. As much as we resent that and we speak against it, there is a need to speak out, you know, to isolated incidents. You cannot carpet everything. We cannot give a blanket treatment to every situation. Treat them as isolated issues that they are. In this case, many people are not saying, oh, yes, we are behind the military, they're always doing well. No, people are analyzing the case, the incident as it was.
On the merit of that event.
Yes. They're judging from both sides' actions. They're not even thinking, oh, this land, is it even a legal property to talk about? You know, was it acquired legally? Do you have legal documents backing it? No, we're talking about what we saw in the video. We're talking about character, discipline, integrity in offices.
Comportment.
Yes, your comportment, your responsibility to that office. I mean, a military officer has a responsibility to his uniform. That is what makes him who he was, or who he is as well. And then the minister too, Wike, he was there in the capacity of the executive, and he had a huge responsibility. People look up to him. Right. There are people who are looking up to you just by being who you are. Your office, your status in the society. And these are the, situations that's how we're judging it. That's how we're looking at it. Yeah. It is from these lenses that we're seeing it. So do not go out there and be talking, from a place of hurt from 2020 or from whatever it is that you feel or that you felt played out then. Right. We have that responsibility as Nigerians. It is our civic responsibility to judge situations as they are. Oh, yeah. Please, let's not go about, giving narratives or, treatments as from whatever we had or from how we were treated. Let's treat things as they are.
As they are. Actually, but then, people we always be entitled to the opinion. Yeah. And that is why we have different opinions. People will see some things from this angle. The other person will see things from this angle. But the baseline is that we are all, truthful. We're saying it from the place of truth, not just primordial sentiment and all of those things. By the way, and each a lot we'll look into as part of the program. If connections will allow us to speak to a former Army General who possibly will give us a sense, especially from the this part of the conversation, and although with a public affairs analyst who give us an angle from this side as well. So much to really look into today. And of course, we'll start now with the newspaper headline segment. Stay with us.
War, also known as Ekiti-Parapa War, was waged among Yoruba main ethnic groups which emerged from the ruins of the falling Oyo Empire that were desperate to replace the awesome powers hitherto wielded by the Alaafin of Oyo. The Kiriji War is defined as a conflict of confederacy and unitary political system championed by Yorubas of different socio-economic and political interests. The Ibadan military aristocrats felt they deserved a dominant position for saving Yoruba land from being totally submerged by the Fulanis by their victory in Osogbo War of 1840 and Ijaye War of 1862. Kiriji War, that took its name from the booming motor sounds of European arms, festered for so long because the Industrial Revolution in Europe provoked high standards of slaves. The 16-year Civil War also caused the emergence of new powerful kingdoms like Ibadan and the rise of powerful personalities like Oluyole, Ogunmola, Kuromi, Latosha, Shodeke, Fabumi, and Ogedengbe. One of the fallouts of Kiriji War was the birth of creative political and leadership structure in Yoruba land that was a blend of federalism and the autocratic monarchical system. Western Spring Television identifies Kiriji War as a watershed event.
All right, we'll start the headline segment from the Nation newspaper. The Nation. Saraki writes of PDP convention. Saraki writes of PDP convention. AMCON officials, lawyers face contempt charges for alleged contravention of court orders. The Nation has that. AMCON officials, lawyers face contempt charges for alleged contravention of court orders, with a rider, Bala Alade Lamidi Adahe Danamu, served from 48 Northeast. That'll be all from the Nation newspaper for today.
All right, now moving ahead to Punch newspaper this morning. It says here, Ibadan Convention, PDP delegates arrive amid Saraki's cancellation move. PDP delegates arrive amid Saraki's cancellation move, and the riders, this one rider, ex-Senate President George, top PDP leaders clash over caretaker committee plan as INEC reviews judgments. And right there, just beside the nameplate, Tinubu shifts 15% fuel import duty to Q1 2026. And right, just to the bottom strip of the paper, National Assembly shifts WAEC CBT adoption to 2030. Genocide interview, don't panic, Piers Morgan tells Tugar. That's on page 14. And right here, airlines reject fresh $11.50 NIS fee. Airlines reject fresh $11.50 NIS fee. And there's headlines right here on Punch newspaper this morning.
All right, and from the Punch newspaper, let's see what the Nigerian Tribune has for us. Nigerian Tribune for today. I have respect for military, but abhor lawlessness. I have respect for military, but abhor lawlessness. Wike, FCT minister carrying out his statutory responsibilities, but, that's a big but there, from the NLC, Falano. Ex-CDS Irabor fought Wike's action. Ex-Chief of Defense Staff Irabor fought Wike's action. Reps move 2026 WAEC computer-based examination policy. That's the CBT policy. You know, I think we said it here a few months ago when the last SSC result was written, and you know, one or two papers had issues in which they had to write into the night. If you remember at that particular time.
Yeah.
And then just after the result was released, WAEC was proposing that next year's SSC exams was going to be full CBT computer-based exam. People are saying, excuse you. The paper and pencil and pen exams that you're writing, you are still having logistical issues and all of those issues. Now you want to go full CBT for SSC actually exam. How many CBT centers do we have in every communities actually? Because when you talk about JAMB doesn't have as many students as WAEC would have with the SSC exams and all of those things. In the interlands, do they even have power to power all of those things? And you are talking about CBT in 2026. I don't know if WAEC Ghana, WAEC Sierra Leone, they are going ahead with it. But as far as WAEC Nigeria is concerned, I think it's only right that the rest are suspended and say, don't go there yet. Because the facilities are not there. Even in the major cities, you speak to some of these students when they go for the CBT exam, they come back with all kinds of stories. Now you want to have physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics, everything. And you know SSC is every day. For the period of the examination, CBT, somewhere in Itagumodi, CBT, somewhere in Ikinyiwa, CBT. I think we dream too high, not because the dreams cannot be, but because we know our reality as a people. Many students will be disenfranchised. And I don't want to sound condescending this morning. Some of the teachers that will operate the CBT, how many of the teachers are computer literate to operate CBT for many of these students? But now the reps, Nigerian reps, have moved to suspend 2026 WAEC computer-based examination policy, and below that, Senate launches probe into stamp duty revenue. All right. And below that, vintage sports, World Cup playoffs. This is the red hot inform Osimhen. The guy is blazing hot. I think he's the hottest striker right now in the world, if you ask me. Nets brace as Eagles spank. Interesting use of words there. Spank Gabon for one. All right. And he will be back to 90th cap. And by the way, we go again. NCP approves BPE move to seed Afan power plant to Transcorp Power Consortium. PDP seeks to join Bayelsa deputy governor's suit against moves to impeach him. Interesting one here. Do you know that the Bayelsa deputy governor didn't follow his oga to the APC?
Right.
That's Adoyedire. Now, chronic on the health scene. Everybody should listen to these. Chronic kidney disease is now 9th leading cause of death globally. Lancet study, 9th killing, leading cause of death. Actually, we should all be careful and take care of ourselves in as much as it lies in our hands. How misinformation on capital gains tax sparked 4.6 trillion market loss, and troops foil abduction of 74 NYC members in Borno. Thank God, thank goodness. Thank the military for this great work. And federal government halts planned 15% import duty on petrol, diesel. These policies so much thought actually, because when you talk about these things and say, okay, by January 2026 or thereabout, there'll be imposition of 50% import duty.
Sure, yeah.
And some are saying, are we right for that? We're not right for that. We have all of our refineries function. Of course, government-owned refineries are moribund.
Yeah.
In fact, moribund is being polite. They are dead. Actually, that's what they are. That's the state. And now they are talking about 15% tariff. Now they have stepped it down. It's typical. And we have seen many policies like that under this administration. You get to hear the announcement of those policies, and later, maybe when the agitation is much, and then they get to withdraw it. Now, two things. Some will say, oh, they're listening government, because people have talked and then they are brought it back. So in a kind of a way, they say, oh, they are listening to us. Number two is, some will say, maybe they are uncoordinated, or they don't subject some of these policies to proper reasoning, expanded reasoning, beyond the fake meeting, actually, because call critical stakeholders before you churn out policy, actually, because by the time you bring it out and all of a sudden you are withdrawing it, it's showing that maybe you don't
think things through.
You don't think deep. It's not just about, oh, it can be gainful. Have you thought about it? Even, in cultural ways, they say, have you slept over it? Or they just churn it out to say, okay, let's see their reaction. If they don't react, let it go. If they react, we bring it back. These are some of the issues. And that will be all from the Nigerian Tribune, front page 4 today.
Oh, Nigerian Tribune.
Yeah.
I'm the one taking. All right. All right, so let's move now to Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
That's right.
And the banner headline says, PDP convention delegates arrive in Ibadan amid calls for caretaker committee. And just below the nameplate, it says here, Gombe State Governor Inuwayaya presents 2026 budget proposal of 535.69 billion naira, tagged budget of consolidation to State Assembly, as was budget of transformation.
Right.
Now this is budget of consolidation. All right, right here, we're seeing below to the bottom strip, how I've managed diabetes for 20 years, says 75-year-old man. So that means it was 55 as at the time he started to manage diabetes. All right, that's that particular report there. And to the lower strip, it says reps ask WAEC to suspend CBT for 2026 exams. And just beside that, Nigeria inched closer to 2026 World Cup ticket. And that is making Nigerians very glad at this meeting.
Well.
Marketers welcome suspension of 15% fuel import levy. All right, those particular headlines right there. And there's that's still showing the bus that was conveying the core members, for which the military intervened and foiled the attempt to kidnap them. All right, so those headlines are right here on Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
All right, so much to really, talk about. And, thank goodness for these. This school have been a terrible one, actually. 74 core members.
Right.
Imagine that these guys in the hands of those criminals, actually. And it's a good one. And we must celebrate everyone that was involved in these, this particular, you call it a deliverance because that's what it is. All right, so we'll take a quick break right now. When we return, we speak to issues. Stay with us.